This is fun. I had fun with this. So last time, I found many shinies. For God's sakes. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. But sometimes it just doesn't pick up my controller. Maybe it's because it's the first button I press. There, I see the indicator. Controller. Come on. Come on. Bro, what? Oh, stream, you didn't open the game. No, I did. There you go. There you go, I did it. Alright. Does mandatory shiny encounter count? You can hatch 3 next. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Here we are. Here's our current team. Our current team is, we have Guya, we have Glurp, and we have Bagooby. Bagooby took like way too fucking long, to be honest with you. But we gotta level her up. We gotta level her up, so we're gonna take her. Where are we gonna take her? So chat, there's a couple areas we could actually check grass-wise for our next shiny hunt. Where do you guys want to do? We got Route 31, which we know has Hodai and Satan. We got Route 30, which we know has Mistia and Sumereko. We have the Sprout Tower, which has... who knows, actually. Let's take a peek in the Sprout Tower. There should be, what, 2, 3 encounters in here? Let's take a peek in the Sprout Tower. I gotta get Bagooby up a couple levels anyway, so... let's run around a little bit. Bagooby. Where'd that name come from, streamer? It came from 4 hours of this game. And a little bit of a mental deterioration. Dude. Are there no encounters on the first floor? Different floors have different encounters. Oh, no shit, really? Okay, well then we'll check every floor once we make some progress, and we'll see which one has the best haul. Oh wow! Oh wow! Look at that one! That's a rare one. I might not even be able to catch that. Actually, I have to give some Pokeballs. Let's just speed her up a little bit. Oh god. Whoa, relax! Okay. There you go. I'm pretty sure Singyoku is basically a legendary, is he not? So that's interesting. So we'll have to check every floor. We're not gonna do, you know, we'll check every floor and we can kind of pick from there. But before that, we got some more places to check. The level was too high. We're gonna buy some balls, cause I was thinking about it actually. It probably would have been easier if it just the catch rate was just made like perfect. Oh, I want to. I need like. I need a couple dollars. Hold on. If the catch rate was just perfect, because if I run into something and the game is like, no. Yeah, perfect. If I run into something, because I'm pretty sure the way the Gen 4 games works with like their battle RNG is that on the first turn, what's gonna happen is already set in stone. But that means if I run into something and it like roars or some shit or has roar, it uses on the first turn, I can't avoid that roar ever. So if I run into a shiny who can end a battle prematurely, then I'm just like shit out of luck. But that's a pretty niche situation. I don't know if any puppets even really are capable of ending battles like that, but it's something to keep in mind. Alright, is there grass here, or is that only in Crystal? That's only in Crystal. Okay, so Route 36 is off limits. So we can check the Ruins of Elf, which I'm actually not sure how the encounter table works for the Ruins of Elf. But let's go do this. I can't buy an escape rope yet. Escape. Escape. Oh, right, this is a touchscreen puzzle. Shiva, you're the reason why these puzzles were turned to like 3 pieces. You know that, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm the type of gamer they were concerned about with this. That's why they changed it from being a 4x4 to a 4-piece. Hey, how you doing? You just come down from above, you must have solved the stone panel puzzle. You have a talent for the Cockina report. Right, yes, thank you. Thank you. Alright. I am now a certified Cockina inspector. Yuki. That is not quite what I thought it was gonna be. Alright. Is Yuki the only thing in here? By the way, chat, I have 2 nature types. So... Faulkner's gonna beat my ass. It's all Yuki. It's all Yuki. I can't fight her because she's a fire type. She doesn't intimidate. The fuck? Wait, she might not have Ember yet. She might not have Ember yet, so I can get away with Poison Sting. Yeah, get her. Growl? I don't give a fuck. Ah! Oh, by the way, I looked at Kaguya's stats. So Kaguya's got like a base 250 HP. And she's got like a base 100 or 80 or 95 special defense. And she's got a base 15 speed and a base 25 attack and defense. I guess it's not that, like... It's pretty obvious that her HP, base HP is fucking massive because she's level 9 and has 52 HP. That's a pretty damn good giveaway that her HP pool is massive. I already knew she was chancy. I just didn't know her exact stats. Thing is, she has multiple forms. I'm pretty for sure the defense form is the one that continues on to Blissey. But she has, her types actually vary quite a bit. Because her evolutions are kind of like, she wields the different sacred treasures. Like, I'm pretty sure her attack form that uses the Fire Rat's robe, that changes her to a Fire Earth type, which is completely different from what she is right now, which she's a native Reason type. Is the grass accessible right now in Route 32? It is. Okay, chat, we have to level Magooby up a little bit. So... We know Okinas are there. There's the Tin Tower. We are gonna do a little bit of grinding, and grinding is kind of like pseudo shiny hunting because the goal isn't the shiny. The goal is to get Magooby up to a fighter's level. Mioi, okay. Level 7. She's actually weak to Poison Sting, which is helpful because it means Magooby can win this exchange. Oh, this is good. She's winning! Move the NPC on the route to block the cave instead of the route. Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. So I can just head down. I can head all the way down? I mean, is there a route change down there or no? Poison powder, that's fine. Alright. Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, Magooby, you got it. You got it. This is easy leveling for Magooby. I don't remember if there's a route change or not, but this is convenient because you can actually do a little more trainer battling in case Faulkner beats your ass. I didn't even know you were really capable of doing that. Rikako, okay. Magooby is dead. Magooby is dead. Alright, good. All of my puppets are so fucking slow. Tay doesn't really count as my puppet though, because she's hanging out until I can trade her. Alright. Mioi is definitely the easiest one to level up off of, as you could obviously see. So, we're gonna get that level up. Ooh, Nemono. Okay. I don't know what type Nemono is. Well, she's steel. I guess I probably should have expected that. You're weak to karate chops. Hell yeah. Glurp. Level 10 Glurp. I'm looking for Mioi's. Kana. I don't know if they're weak to heart. Oh my god. Never mind. Rule number 1, you don't fuck with a ghost. The only thing Bagooby can do is Poison Sting. She needs to gain at least one more move, preferably Leech Seed. That'd be pretty helpful. That'd be pretty helpful. Right now, she is about as lethal as a level 3 Wormpole. That's pretty lethal, isn't it? Not really. Alright, we don't fight Kana. We're looking for Mioi. Tay. Oh, I can kill a Tay. Tay is actually worth a lot of EXP, maybe. There you go, kill her. Kill her! 128, Bagooby. Nice, nice. Juice him. Nemono, okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try and even out my levels. A Ganlon Berry. Okay. Okay. There you go. Now we're making progress. Well, okay. What's a Ganlon Berry? You gonna check it? No. I'm just gonna ask what it is and then not check it. I'm sure somebody knows. I'm sure somebody's dying to give me the answer, so I'll leave it to them. I could check, but like, yeah, I don't really want to. You know, we do need to check, chat. We need to check this mysterious guy's eggs. Now, they're not gonna be shiny because, well, they can be. I'm not gonna say they're not gonna be shiny, but the odds of them being shiny is not, it's not very considerate to the amount of time I have to put in to actually see it. Also, Poison Powder is a grass move in this game. I don't remember if it's a grass move in the actual Pokemon games. I'm pretty sure it isn't. Alright, Mioi and Nitori. We got two water types in here. It's a pretty good grass lineup. You know what I should do, though, is I should go back to Route 31 and Route 30 and take a peek at the Pokemon there. Just so we have an accurate gauge of what we're looking at for when we start our next hunt. Come on, Bagooby. Come on, Bagooby. Not that one. I mean, I could just get a Yuki. I literally could just go and get a Yuki, guaranteed. She is a fire type. I think she's swell. Alright. Level 9. I would love to be a little bit higher. Level 7 is a good level. Yeah. Yeah, get her. Yeah, alright, alright. Let's go back and check the previous routes so we can get a good gauge, and then we can see kind of where chat wants to go. But before that, of course, we will go to the Sprout Tower, because the Sprout Tower has a bunch of encounters. You don't really have to grind in this game. The only area I recall ever having to like grind for was for Price's gym. Because Price just had fully evolved Pokemon, and they were like, he had an Advent. He had an Advent Chirno, which was very strong at that point in the game. And the only way I could kill it was by Clown Piece getting a lucky Fire Blast. Oh, a Ditto. Okay, alright. Am I on the right route? Am I back on Route 30? I am. Yeah, I am. Okay. So Route 30 has Kadama, Mistia, Sumereko, and Nazrin. Okay. And orange. Alright. And Ellen. Okay. Okay. Or am I on Route 31 again? And Mystia. Okay, now I'm on Route 31. Route 31 has Rika. No, run. Route 31 has Rika, Hodai, Satan, and I think Nazarene is here too. And it's all Rika, baby. Come on. Can I hit Hodai? Oh, I can. Okay, alright, that works. A shiny Hodai would be funny. 0 damage, poison stings. Okay. Uncheck 3 more. Rikako's here. Okay, Rikako's in the other grass. I can't run. Okay, 2 more. Rika. Okay. Hope you're all jotting this down. And Wriggle. Okay. There's some variety, boys. We got some variety. Except Wriggle would be another nature type, so I'm not really sure I would want her. Alright. So now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head up to Tin Tower. Sorry, Sprout Tower. And I'm pretty sure most of those puppets are going to be weak to Poison Sting, because they're going to be replacing Bellsprout. I don't remember what they're going to replace Bellsprout with. But, in the meantime, what we can do, chat. Can somebody give me the passwords for the eggs? Can somebody give me the passwords for the eggs? There's 3 passwords. You tell that guy on the right, he'll give you an egg. And they're all randomized. They probably won't be shiny, but since I have room... Also trainer ID. Really? Okay. My trainer ID is 44792. Wow. My name is Jupe. They probably won't be shiny, but I have room in my party for them, so I might as well get them. The Show Me Show. I'm Primo. Tell me what you think of me. Yeah, sure. Alright. What do I tell this motherfucker? Oh, I don't have to tell him, like, puppets, do I? Oh, that would be problematic. Boy kindergartner. Okay. Boy kindergarten. Okay. So how you feel about me? I never do it that way, but you feel like I'm so excited and fun. And Klutz filter. Where do you get this information, like, naturally? Klutz is maybe renamed to glamorous. Oh yeah, like it's even in the in the F category. It's just glamorous. Okay. You're an ordinary fan knowing such a thing. You were a trainer, I'll pull some strings. I think I could swing a deal and give me this egg. Yeah, I don't remember... Got the Sea Show egg. I don't remember what this guy, like how people found out about this guy. But that's probably not a show, chat. Oh, it's really close to hatching, apparently. Wait, did you do that? Well, it doesn't matter if you did that because you still have to input the password every time, and I'm not resetting for that. Resetting for that is a pain in the ass. It's not worth it. I could reset for the mystery egg if it takes like 5 steps. The mystery egg would be 5 steps, so I could probably get away with that one. But this one, I'm not gonna do it because it's a process. I'm doing this for fun. Unaware ball. Orb. Unaware orb. And then adaptability, forward. Adaptability, forward. Okay. Is that your answer? You are no ordinary fan. Sinitori. Okay. What's the last one? What's the last one for the goo egg, which will not be goo? Song word, swarm white smoke. Shadow tag true. Okay. Song word. Song word. Yes. Swarm and White Smoke are probably renamed. Yeah, but they'll be in the same spots, right? So we can probably figure out what it is based on that. SW is probably right at the end. Oh, no, there's Swarm. Okay. Swarm and White Smoke. Magic Barrier, right? Because that could only be one that would fit. You are no ordinary fan. You get the sea flan egg. Alright, let's see what these guys are. So they all hatch. So they're not actually going to be that, but these are 3 puppets you can get really early on. Alright, so we'll probably do a shiny hunt for the Togepi egg, chat, because why not? We can do that. But these guys, like I said, that process is annoying. So we're just not going to worry about that. These guys hatch, these guys hatch. We're going to keep playing while we're with them. That's all. Alright, let's go. Let's go explore the tower. I mean, it'd be cool if one of them ended up being shiny, but yeah, odds aren't favorable. Tokiko. Alright, we got Tokiko and Singyoku. Like a legendary and a Route 1. It's like Rattata versus Mewtwo. Baby Mewtwo. Or Mew? I guess. Doo-doo-doo. However hard we battle, the tower stands strong. I like this idea because they built a bell tower, but it's a bell sprout, so it's a sprout tower. That's a rat. That's not a bell sprout. Level 3? Wait a minute, what? Really? Why are you so weak? This rat's weaker than Joey's. Joey's got a level 5 rat attack. Maybe he wasn't fooling. He wasn't fooling about that percentage. Seashell. Oh, that makes a little more sense, actually. It's thematic to the Myoden Temple. Duh. You're not weak to poison, but you don't resist poison either. Gooby is gonna be the strongest on the team soon. I really want her to have Leech Seed. Because Leech Seed is where the stupid begins, and I start the Shizuha. Good job. Actually, what I really need is Kaguya to learn a fucking move that isn't Thief with her base 15 attack. Alright, Guya. Can you learn a move that isn't crying and screaming and flailing on the ground? Ah! What? I thought that was super effective. Tackle? Fine. Edwin, do your thing. I'm surprised I'm faster, even if I am 5 levels higher. Alright. See, the thing about Mimic is that it seems like a really, like, not bad move. I don't know why it needs a PP restriction on it. Because it's already bad enough that it requires you to, like... It requires you to use a turn, and the move you steal is based on what your opponent did. And if they're faster than you, then... Well, you don't really get to pick. You have to predict. I fought hard, but I am too weak. Alright, so that was... Well, actually, that was floor 1, but this is actually floor 1, because I just went down the ladder. But I don't recall there being any, encounters on this floor. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be. We stand guard. So this is floor 1. Floor 2 has Singyoku and, Tokiko. Wom wom. Ching, sparkle, sparkle. The Ching Ching bird. Who? Good hit. Counter! I'm dead! Holy shit, I'm not dead. Wow. That's kind of frightening. Yeah. See Marasa. Okay. I hope I run into a trainer with a shiny. That'd be cool. Because that did happen in Platinum. But the first time I saw that happen in Platinum was in Victory Road, where an old man sent out a shiny Shizuha. It happened like at the end of the game. I don't think that was the only one though. I think another shiny popped up while I was playing. But yeah, that was the first one I saw. I don't know what Ichiran's ability is, but counter doesn't matter with that. Counter don't give a fuck. Counter just sends back the amount of damage you took and doubles it. Come on, Guya. Look at that. 5 HP, 3 special defense, 1 everything else. 11 speed, 10 defense, 14 special attack. Yes, a move! C on. Is she a steel type? Doesn't matter. I have an attack now. With my 14 base attack, I sentence you to death. She's probably a beast type. Yeah. Puppy down. Now Guya can fight. Thank you. Are there really no encounters on this floor? I could have swore there was at least fucking Rattata down here, right? I guess not. Okay, so this is the same floor I was just on earlier. This is the Singyoku Tokiko floor. And it seems like it's going to be primarily Tokiko. Oh my god, what a gamble that would be to find the Singyoku. She's dying. She got countered. So it's Glurp's turn. Alright, Glurp. Time to fight. I sway like leaves in the wind. Bagooby! Edmund. Can I karate chop you? Yeah, I can. Whoa! Whoa! Misamaru? Okay. Purple. Just trace my guts. Die. Wow. Glurp's kind of tough. Tojiko. Karate? You're slower than a level 4 ghost. Karate chop. Oh, I'm weak. Yes. Oh? Ha! It's not randomized. It is not randomized, boys. There's show. I'm gonna go back and heal. Bagooby. What if it is randomized and the egg that hatched just happened to be show? I mean, the game told me what the egg was. I would assume it'd be randomized because I've randomized before. But he did say it was a show, Nitori, and Flan. The other ones aren't hatching. You would think the Nitori would hatch sooner. Like, because it's Nitori. So it's actually possible that that's show randomized. I mean, we're gonna have to see, boys. We're just gonna see. If something comes out of that egg that isn't a Flan or a Nitori, then that means we did just randomize, we did randomize a show egg. The fact that it's hatched and the others haven't, it leads me to believe that is possible. Because I only took 3 steps with the egg, like prior, right? She struggles to get on the ladder with me. Boom. Oh? Oh, no, there's Nitori. There you go. It resets the step counter. Really? I didn't know that. Isn't that kind of dumb? So there's like 2 floors of Sprout Tower. Good. To level 1. I'll check it when the last one hatches. I trained to find enlightenment in Poopet. I am enlightened. That's kind of a big deal puppet, actually. Alright, Bagooby. This is your moment. Destroy her! Don't let her live. You know it's hard to notice, but Bagooby is wearing a gold vest. Her clothes are black, but her top is gold. And her gas is gold. She is a luxury item right now. She's pretty cool, actually. There we go. Vine Whip. That's ×4 ineffective. Because I'm a Bulbasaur. Baba. Huge gains for Bagooby. This little squirt sure made me hurt. What a fucked up thing to say. The Elder's TM lights even the pitch black darkness. Oh, the other one. Chat, do you like Bellsprout or Oddish more? I like Oddish more. I think Oddish is funny. Not counting the evolutions, I think Bellsprout's kind of like a little freak. However, Oddish, pretty cool. Did you know in Pokemon Hey You Pikachu, you can eat an Oddish? Well, not you. Pikachu can. Pikachu can pick up an Oddish and eat it. Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso. Poison tears. I'm gonna assume that's a poison attack like acid. It is my head that is bright. Bald! Let me see how much you trust your puppets. Curious, they're bald in the overworld, but they're shaved in the battle. Now how does that work? Is a shaved head truly bald? Good. Wait, no. Ow! Use the other move. Pretty sure the other move's acid. Muck, use acid. Scyther. Yeah, it's acid. Oh my god. Bagooby. Minorico. Dude. Poison tears. This is great. My team is capable of making progress by crying, screaming, flailing, and karate chopping. I worry about the future of this combat. Yo, good shit, Bagooby. Yes, your trust is real. God, she is so talented. She cleaned up that place like it was nothing. There's still one more guy to fight, though. He could be difficult. I think he's got a level 10. I'm putting Bagooby in the back. She might be required. She's not gonna be that helpful against Faulkner. Well, neither is Kaguya, but whatever. You showed us what you've got, and it is indeed good. However, you should care more about your puppets. Puppets are not tools of war. Goop! He was no match for me. Escape. Escape. Don't mind me, I'm grabbing the escape. I'm gonna go back to the ruins of Elf to get some free items with it. Spark Tower is a place of training. Blah, blah, blah. I am the final test. Alright. Elder Lee. Chakure. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Wait, they're faith types. Sealing Needle. I don't care. That's gonna do 0 damage. It even paralyzed me. But it doesn't matter, because I have Synchronize. Get paralyzed, idiot. Psychic Shot. Ah! Oh, you're dead. Okay. Well done, Goo. Oh my god, juice me. See me, Samaru? Okay, so you're themed around Reimu Home. You got Reimu and you got Yin Yang Orb Creator. And then you, who else you got? You got a baby Sendai? That'd be cool. Oh, I didn't do enough damage. Ow. Ow! Go! So Reimu fucking died. Go! Great. You're gonna lose this thing? No, definitely not. Go! One in 4, by the way. Oh! 1 in 4, by the way. 1 in 4. Is this why we play Pokemon? Yeah. This is why we play Pokemon. I win. Goo is the winner. 5 HP added to the total. +0, +0, +0. Fuck you. Narumi. I mean, I'd say that's random, but no, that's pretty fine. I'm gonna chop her head. Oh, she's adorable. Hassan chop. Absorb? What? What a random move for you to have. Hey, don't resist that. I worked hard for that hit. That doesn't matter. Absorb does not use that stat. Ha ha ha. I forgot that Faith is weak to Beast. Or was it Reason? I don't remember. I don't remember because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Good job, Glurp. I saw that speed go up by 0. Excellent. The way battle's quite elegant. You should be able to stand up to Faulkner. You should get good use of this. This is an actual attack I could attack with, by the way, so that's nice. You can try it on Conoco, for example. Where the fuck am I gonna get a Conoco? 30% chance to accuracy -1. Oh, I love how straight and to the point your descriptions are. Guya can use it. That's very good, because that means she now has a plethora of options. So now I'm gonna head back to the ruins. Is there no encounter table up here? Oh, there is. There's Churbos up here! And Misamaru. Now that's a gamble, boys. Now that's a gamble. Lily Black! And Parsi. Wow. Lily Black, Parsi, Chirno, and Misamaru. You guys want a shiny hunt up here? It's quite a risky selection, isn't it? I'll check 3 more. I've never used a Parsi. Alright, seems like, yeah, we got 4 options in there. Oh, hold on, here comes Goo. No shiny. What if she was shiny, though? Alright, whoops. One more check. Okay. I think we've solidified that. We're gonna head back first. So we know that Singyoku and Tokiko are here. Oh, and Shimada's here too. Okay. Shimada, Singyoku, and Tokiko. And Ringo. And Kwakuma. Okay. Tokiko. You know what I'll do, chat? Since the ladders are right next to each other, I'll do like 10 encounters in one area and go to the other floor and do 10 encounters and go to the other area. So we'll include the entire pool. We'll include the entire pool like that. We'll do 10 on, 10 off. But first we're gonna heal. And we're gonna box. We're gonna box. Calm. Inner focus. Lonely. Swift swim. Relaxed. Hustle. That's defense up, speed down. That's really bad. But your IV description means it could actually be perfect attack. I'm bringing the one who has runaway because they're convenient. Okay. Before we continue though, I am gonna go get the ruins. I'm gonna go get the ruins escape rope. Wait, I can get down here, right? No. You foolish boy. I don't remember what's behind there, but I think I'll get a shard. Because there's supposed to be like a water stone back there or something. Oops. If I had a rock smash, I could get an encounter here. But I don't remember where to get rock smash. Pretty sure it's a guy, right? It's a guy up top. Change the items. Goldberry. Ooh, a TM. Curse. Cool. The Mind Plate. Ooh. The Heart Plate. Oh, it's for the starters, so the Faith Plate. Divine Plate. Yeah, so it's a plate for your starter. And the TM for Curse. That's for Faith, Heart, and Reason, so your starter. My starter was a Reason type, actually. Okay. You get Rock Smash from this guy up here, right? I can teach it to Sarah. Yo, having trouble with boulders? Here, have this. It contains Make 'em Faint Rock Smash. What a fucking liar. What a liar. I can't... Well, it's stronger than Karate Chop. Well, at least Glurp can learn it. I can't use it without Faulkner's badge, though. Alright, chat. We're gonna head. Oh, our level's good? Yeah, everybody's level 11. And we're gonna have Tay up front for runaway shenanigans. Okay, alright. Let's go get in position and begin our next hunt. And then I'll get the prediction. So on the ground floor, we know there's a couple things in here. A Shimada would be cool. Shiny Shimada would be cool. Shiny Sengoku would be cool too. But there's a lot of options on the top one as well. Alright. Alright, boys, here we go. So, slash prediction. Start prediction. Who Sparkle? Hold on, I fucked that up. Slash prediction. Who Sparkle? Top floor, which is what I'm on right now. Bottom floor, which is technically not the bottom floor, but just for the simplicity of it. There you go. Top floor is Chirno, Parsi, Lily Black, and Misamaru. Middle floor is Kwakama, Shimada, Sengoku, Tokiko. And, someone else was there, I forget. I actually forgot. Alright, boys. Let's grab a tune, and let's go. Feel free to keep track. Oh. Feel free to keep track, by the way, about how many encounters I get. We'll do 10 encounters and switch. Alright? 10 encounters and switch. That's what we're gonna do. So somebody's free to count. Basically every minute I switch, I suppose. Oh, Racin's up here too. Okay, alright. There's Booney up here. Wow, okay, alright. We got some options, boy. This is pretty exciting. I mean, I'm half tempted to just stay at the top floor, but we can't do that. We can't do that. We gotta... With such quick access to the other options, we might as well include them all. That'd be more fun than just picking a floor after all. Oh, and Sariel's up here too! Oh, shit! Wait, hold on. This top floor is jam-packed with some crazy shit. And Kringo's here! Okay, hi Kringo. Alright, one more and we go downstairs. You know, let's bump it to 15 because I'm gonna get lazy about it. Sariel is 1%. Why is there a 1% encounter in here, motherfucker? That would have been cool to get the shiny. 3 more. Bagooby. 2 more. I'm glad I caught this Tay for a reason beyond what we're actually using her for. Just because everything on my team is so fucking slow. Alright, 1 more and then we'll go down a floor. By the time we trade her off, we'll be able to run from things, most likely. This is the fun part of the playthrough, boys. Oh, Cassin's down here too. Okay, alright. There's some Cassins in here. I'm worried about Tokiko, you know? Tokiko's definitely not the one I want to see. Oh, Futo's here too. Okay, alright, that's cool. We got some Futo. So we got a real starter up top and one of the fake starters down bottom here. I love the variety, man. The variety makes the shiny hunt more fun. Except when Tokiko shows up. Fuck off, Tokiko. I don't want you being there. If somebody wants to count in chat and then just... Oh, Marissa's down here too. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's some good-ass puppets in this fucking place. Feel free to post a siren once I hit 15 in case... Because I'm not really paying attention as much as I could. And I'd rather, like, you know... Marissa is 1%. How would you even know that? Joey's calling. Joey's calling. Why are there so many 1%? Can't you, like, make it 5? Make it 5, damn it. I thought Sengyoku was the rare one, because I only found the one. Ding dong. Oh, well, there's Sengyoku right there. Alright. 15 reached. Okay. Up the ladder. Up the ladder. Crazy encounter. You could fill out a whole fucking team in here, dude. There you go. Misamaru. I don't want Misamaru, and I don't really want Tokiko. Those are the two I'm the most worried about actually finding a shiny of. We could be here for a while. Sorry, not Rock Tunnel. The Dark Cave shiny hunt was the one that took the longest. And that one amounted to Medicine, who I caught in the last Touhoumon game that I played, actually. I didn't use her, but I caught her. So her evolution will be different, of course, but... You know, I was kind of hoping it would be something I've never really used before. Debuni. I really thought there was I thought there would be encounters on the very bottom floor. I guess I should count my blessings there aren't. Oh well. Oh well. Whoa, I'm not even paying attention. I must go. I must go. My people need me. Chat, I have a question. How do you fall asleep when it's too hot? Because, like, I'm really tired of going to bed and not being able to actually fall asleep until I can, like, see the sun rising. And then when I wake up the next day, it's like 1 to 2 p.m. and it's just sucky. But, like, I physically cannot fall asleep. I physically cannot fall asleep until it's like the day is super late. I got it. I can't do it. And the problem is that since I can't do it until like the sun's rising, then by the time, like at that point, it's like it's too late to get an actual real night of sleep, and then I end up sleeping late. And it's just a miserable feeling, dude. It sucks because I've been stuck in this cycle for a while now. I stopped doing my exercise when I hurt my finger. And then, you know, now I don't sleep well. So I haven't done proper exercise in weeks, and it's actually fucking terrible, is what it is. It sucks. Sucks a lot. But my problem is that I wake up, like, so close to my stream time. I said this before, where it's like, when I wake up that close to my stream time, I feel like I don't have anything I can do before I stream. And that, like, limits what I can do. There were times where I wake up at, like, 9 or 10, and I'd get everything I'd want to do. I'd do my exercise, I'd do my, like, my practice, I'd do my cardio. Like, I was doing so much. I was doing so much, and then it was like barely even 1 o'clock, and it was like, all right, now I got like a bunch of free time before the stream. But now it feels like I wake up and it's like, you get a stream in like an hour, streamer. You can't like do anything. You can't do anything except stream. And it's like, oh, you're limiting yourself. I want to go get myself a cup of water. I'm gonna do that when we hit the next. When we hit the next. Kringle. Kringle on Route 1. I do have water. I have to go buy some groceries. I was supposed to do that today, but yeah. My face got really hairy, and I was gonna shave today, but I actually ended up shaving last night because I couldn't sleep, and I was in front of my mirror, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I shaved at like 3 a.m. and that was a choice I made. I didn't cut myself or anything, mind you, but like, yeah. These are tasks I'm supposed to be doing during the day, and then yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get some water, chat. I'll be right back. Let me go get some water, and then we will resume. I have returned. 76 encounters, damn. We're only halfway there to 10%. Alright. I wonder who the fastest shiny on the team will end up being. I think technically right now it's Glurp. But I think that Rayson would have been the fastest. Water. Is this this is the Oceanic Museum from Ruby Sapphire Emerald. Sometimes I mix it up with the Art Gallery and Lily Cove, because I like both of those themes. But I'm pretty sure this is the Oceanic Museum, because this sounds like the SSN. A Shimada would be cool. Unfortunately, the newer puppets, like the ones that didn't exist in... What era would it be? I'm pretty sure every puppet from 14 onwards, they only have a level up evolution. They don't have stone evos. Either it's because of deck size, because they can't fit them all. I'd assume it's something like that. It's a shame, but at least they're in the game. Oh, I missed the ladder. So some of the shinies in this game might actually be different. I noticed that the shiny Kaguya is different in this game than other games. In other games, she has pink hair and a blue outfit. In this one, you gave her red hair and a purple outfit. Obviously a Kotohime reference, but like, I'm surprised you even bothered to change something like that in the first place. Unless that was changed in a different game and you just took that from that one. But my point is that the shiny sprite is some reason it's actually inconsistent to other games, which is surprising because what a random thing to change. What if Lily Black is just Lily White colored and Lily White is just Lily Black colored? Maybe. I don't really know what the shinies look like. Some of them I do. Because I have seen a handful of them in my time. Lily Black is probably good. Chirno's probably good too. You know, there's some puppets that I've only ever really used at beginnings of games. Kane is an interesting one because Kane is a puppet that in Puppet Dance Performance, I like every time I play that game, I would catch her in the human village and I know she'd be good and she was capable of doing things, but she would always end up getting kicked off the team at some point. Like pretty much every single puppet that I caught in the human village, they end up getting scrapped. Like they don't stick around, and I'm not really sure why. I wouldn't even really say they're bad. It's just there's so many other puppets. Sprites are used from the original enhanced. Okay. Okay, so somebody, well, the point is that somebody somewhere decided to change the shiny sprites. So I don't know what's up with that. No, as I was saying, like, Kane gains access to a pretty good steel move early on, but I guess it's just not that useful in the grand scheme of things. But then I just always find that she gets shelved for other characters later on. Like even Kokoro too. I couldn't really figure out how to make Kokoro work, so she just gets benched as well. Aku's a gimmick. Kozuzu's a gimmick. Bonky feels like a gimmick. I don't even remember who else you can fucking catch in the human village grass. But seriously, like, Kane always feels like a good fit on the team. Well, there's another Marissa. Until suddenly it's like, I need to replace something to replace her. I think that some Pokemon and puppets, obviously, I'm kind of using the term interchangeably because it applies to both series. Some of them are really... They're prone to, like... I don't know what you call it. I guess early game drought. Like, some of them just have such a bad pool. They have a bad level up move pool. And in those games where TMs are not reusable, you're really hesitant on using them. So you're really relying on that level up move pool. But some Pokemon have really bad level up move pools. And it makes them miserable to use in actual playthroughs. Now, most pseudo-legendaries are like that. Have you ever tried to use a Dratini/Dragonair in a story playthrough, chat? That Pokemon's move pool is egregiously bad. It learns, like, Aqua Tail, Slam. Now, I'm not counting Dragon Rage, because early on Dragon Rage is a busted move. But there is a point where Dragon Rage starts being useless. And the point I'm talking about is, like, you're in, like, your early 30s, late 40s, and your best moves are, like, Slam, Aqua Tail. You know, he learns fucking Wing Attack when he evolves. Like, straight up, the only way to make that Pokemon usable is to overload it on good TMs. But even then, it's not good at using those TMs over others. Like, you could give Dragonite Earthquake when it evolves, but depending on the game, you might not even have a Dragonite until you're done the game. And that's just how that one goes. Don't worry, I'm paying attention, but I am also in speed up, so, like, this happens. Some Pokemon are definitely designed with, like, post-game in mind, I would say. But I don't like that. I don't like that personally. I wish that all Pokemon were capable of being used from an early level in a fun way, and not just the Pokemon that were put on the early routes. Like, even the fossil Pokemon kind of suck. Like, Cranidos is a pain in the ass. His level up move pool is cheeks, bro. That motherfucker doesn't learn anything. Sure, he's got a massive attack stat, but he gets, like, what, fucking Headbutt at level 28 or something? Otherwise, you're just spamming Tackle for 20 fucking levels. Like, their level up move pools are miserable. They don't learn attacks, and it's hard to want to invest TMs into them when they're really not pulling their weight. Gibble and Gabite is similar. They're lucky because they get Garchomp at level 48, which is actually a level you'd probably have at the end game, a little bit before the Elite Four. But his move pool is also pretty ass cheeks. Dragon Rush is a terrible fucking move, by the way. Absolute terrible move. 100 base power, 75 accuracy, flinch chance. It's just Iron Tail for dragons, but instead of lowering defense, it causes flinching. To be honest, I don't know what learns Dragon Rush. I'm pretty sure Dragonite learns Dragon Rush. And I know Garchomp learns Dragon Rush. I don't know if Solomon's learns Dragon Rush. I'm sure that Bagon and Shelgon's level up move pool is ass cheeks, though. I am pretty sure of that. But I'm talking about Pokemon like Ponyta, right? Ponyta is not a good Pokemon. Rapidash is not a good Pokemon. Ponyta is only accessible by the time you have Surf, which means you need 5 badges to get Ponyta. And Ponyta is encounterable between levels like 28 to 34 or some shit. So, like, it's still a pretty decent ways off from evolving, but it sucks. It's bad. Now, the example I just gave you is with Gen 1, with Ponyta and Cinnabar. But in Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, you can catch Ponyta directly above the first gym. The first gym's levels are between, like, 13 to 16. That Ponyta you catch might not even be level 10. That Ponyta doesn't evolve until level 40-something, and it's a catch you're allowed to have before the first gym battle. That's my problem. Do you see my problem here? In Gen 1, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. It gets 7 levels, it'll evolve. In Gen 4, it's, oh, okay, it's going to be weaker than my starter for the vast majority of the game, and when it finally evolves at a level higher than my final evolution starter, it's going to be weak, about as weak as the second form of my starter. Like, I don't like when they reposition Pokemon like that in areas of accessibility, but they don't change the accessibility of the level ups. It's bad. Whismur is just a very strange choice, actually. Whismur is found in the Rusturf Tunnel at like level 6. He evolves at like level 28 into Loundred, and then like 42 or 44 or 40 or some shit into Exploud. And the thing is that Exploud is barely better than like a fucking Raticate. And Raticate is like level 18, I think. Like, that thing evolves pretty early. In Diamond and Pearl, the only 2 fire types available in the decks are Ponyta and Chimchar, yes. Platinum adjusts a little bit, but remember Flint. There's a reason why Flint only had 2 fire types in Diamond and Pearl. It's because those were the only 2 available fire types. If you did not start with the fire type starter, your only option for stab fire types was Ponyta. This is a game where a bunch of the most common trainers, i.e. the fucking grunts for Team Plasma, throw out levitating Bronzors. Because in Gen 4, I don't know what it's like in other games, but in Gen 4, every trainer's Pokemon automatically has, they automatically have ability 1. And Bronzor's ability 1 is always Levitate. And its only weaknesses are ground and fire. So you have to play a game of neutral damage to that fucking thing without a fire type. And Ponyta's not good. Ponyta's not good. If you let Ponyta evolve at level 26 into Rapidash, I think that's fine. I honestly think that's fine. Rapidash isn't that crazy that at level 26 it's gonna break your game. It's just not. But like level 40 is like, at level 40, you know what you could have at level 40? You could be close to a Garchomp at level 40. You could have a fully evolved starter at level 40. You could have a Staraptor at level 40. And Staraptor's awesome, dude. Staraptor's a fucking awesome bird. That motherfucker, they were like, alright, make this cool bird, give it the coolest fighting move ever. Sinnoh games, they have slot 1. Heartgold, so they could have either slot, but it's glitched. What do you mean it's glitched? You mean it's glitched in the sense that it doesn't work? You know, if you told me that you didn't even know that Bronzor had a second, at the time, like, unique ability, I wouldn't blame you. Bronzor and Bronzong's second ability is called Heat Proof, which reduces the damage of fire-type moves by 50%. And for a long time, that was the only Pokemon that got that ability. The only other Pokemon I can think of that has that ability is fucking Sinistcha, the T Pokemon. But he also has Hospitality, which is infinitely better, as you'd expect. If a trainer sends out a Mon with ability slot 2, all the rest of the Mons they send out are forced to have slot 2, even if they were set to have slot 1. So basically, really? So basically, a trainer's first Pokemon... A trainer's first Pokemon will kind of dictate... Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out how that works. So if at any point a Pokemon comes out with the slot 2 ability, it makes it so every other Pokemon on the team has slot 2 ability. So that means you could be fighting a Pokemon with a completely different ability. Unless every single Pokemon you've ever fought in these games has ability 2 right out the gate. In which case, it would all be consistent from that point onward. Interesting. Can't say I ever thought of that. It's so weird they gave Bronzor like a unique ability like that. Especially when its main ability is, you know, levitate. I think that Bronzor and Bronzong is kind of funny in the sense that you're so likely to run levitate that you could realistically get away with running heat proof. Because your opponent is just not going to click a ground move against that Pokemon. Now, that probably could have happened in the competitive lifespan of that Pokemon if it wasn't a bad Pokemon. Bronzor and Bronzong essentially had no weakness. Well, I mean, they did have a weakness, but, you know. They did have a weakness, but they didn't have good recovery. And their move pool was a little hollow. So even though they were annoyingly, like, resilient Pokemon, they were too passive. And that's kind of a death sentence for those types of Pokemon, is when they don't accomplish anything and they just sit there. Paradrab can run Sap Sipper because everyone assumes you always have Armored Tail theory. See, kind of. I don't know if they've ever really done that. But Galarian Darmanitan was a good example of this. Galarian Darmanitan had Zen mode and it had Guerrilla Tactics. There was a 90% chance you were fighting a Darmanitan with Guerrilla Tactics. But if the Darmanitan had Zen mode and you were not accounting for that, you could just be absolutely swept by Zen mode. Because the difference is Guerrilla Tactics is a choice item as an ability, so it can only press attacking moves. But if you assume it can only press attacking moves and it belly drums and it hits itself into Zen mode, well, then you just lose. Sorry, asshole. Now that's a little different, mind you, because that's less so like fake Tims. Because Clefable can do it to an extent too. Clefable can run unaware sometimes, pretending it's Magic Guard. You're not really gonna like waste a turn to poison a Clefable, right? Are you gonna click Toxic on a Clefable if you don't know if it's Magic Guard or unaware? Because unaware boots Clefable looks like Magic Guard. Until you can prove otherwise, you have to assume it's probably Magic Guard. And they can do that, that's the thing. They have such a good ability that they can get away with running their other one in secret. And they kind of get the benefit of both abilities because your opponent is going to play around ability 1 and not ability 2. But ability 2 is still going to get its benefits because it's still just active in general. So like a Magic Guard... A Clefable not running Magic Guard is not going to be hit by, like, Toxic or anything like that because the opponent's going to assume it's not going to work. So you don't even have to run the deterrent because just the knowledge that you probably have the deterrent is the deterrent. And that lets you get away with it. Until, of course, you're exposed. Make no mistake. It's not a foolproof strategy, but it is one that has happened in competitive history. It's usually just dependent on the consistency of one ability over the other, but also like how good both abilities are. Some Pokemon have two really good abilities, and they can dictate the way they play. Again, Galarian Darmanitan is a great example of this, where depending on that Pokemon's ability, it played completely different. And if you were prepared for one, I don't have to say you weren't prepared for the other, but if you guessed wrong on which one you're fighting, you could eat a monumental amount of shit. The thing is though, you are way more likely to be correct by assuming you were fighting a Guerrilla Tactics one than you were a Zen Mode one. And assuming you're fighting a Zen Mode form and trying to play around that, well, congratulations, you just fucking died to Guerrilla Tactics. But then you try to play around Guerrilla Tactics and suddenly you're in a belly drum situation with Zen Mode activated and you're like, oh, well, now I probably just lose. Anyway, that Pokemon got banned from competitive because he was pretty egregious. Guerrilla Tactics is an interesting ability, especially since you can give him another choice item on top of it, and they work together. So he was effectively either a Pokemon who started with a Swords Dance or started with a Dragon Dance, and was restricted to one move, which is kind of ridiculous. That's kind of ridiculous. How long have we been here? Just to suffer. There are some Pokemon that have abilities that are so, like, absolutely garbage that there's no reason to ever run them. And not even for, like, novelty. Darmanitan versus Dragovich. Which one's worse? Probably Dragovich, because Dragovich was easier to put on a team and kill things. But the issue with both of those Pokemon is relatively the same thing. They were Pokemon that you put on the team and did the same thing with regardless of what was in front of you, because it did not matter what was in front of you. It was the equivalent of having, like, a super ready to go at all times. An unblockable super. I didn't even go down that ladder. You could just throw it out and it'll hit and it will do chip. And it's safe. So, like, you're not going to get punished for it hard. You're not going to get punished hard for it. It's going to do a monumental amount of chip and you can just kind of throw it out. And if your opponent isn't, like, on their absolute, like, back foot defending against it, they just lose a chunk of health. And you can just swap in, swap out whenever you want. You can just send in that super and your opponent has to fucking deal with it until they hit you and take out your meter. That's what those Pokemon are. They're not strategy. That's the problem that they present. Is they're overwhelming in the simplicity of their options. They come in, they click a button, they do not think. They do not care what is in, they do not care what can come in. Dragovich does not care if you have a water absorber in the back that can come in and absorb the water. Because, well, sure, that Pokemon's really good at 1v1ing Dragovich because it shuts down its best option, and granted, its only option. But Pokemon is a game of 6 versus 6. And that Pokemon that's good at dealing with Dragovich is only up in that, like, tier. They're only up in that tier because they deal with that one Pokemon. So they deal with literally anything else, and they just, you know, they're just kind of shit on a rug. That's it. This came out of a gym where the main mechanic allows you to bypass your lock. Gen 8 designers really weren't trying. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. By Gen 8, the competitive swing for Pokemon was leaned towards doubles. For Guerrilla Tactics. Oh. Wait, if you Dynamaxed, you could pick whatever you wanted? Oh. Okay. Oh, well. I didn't know that. I guess that makes sense that you wouldn't be restricted to choice items. You wouldn't be restricted to choice items by Dynamaxing. Turns off the boost, though. Well, that makes enough sense to me. Whee! Papapadu. I talk about these guys a lot, but it is true for like a healthy meta. Like there are some Pokemon that are very common and competitive because of how good they are, but they're not good because you can just throw them in and they deal with all your problems. They're good because they're multi-purpose and they can deal with a lot of problems, but they have weaknesses you need to be aware of. But belligerent Pokemon like Dragovish don't care about what works and what doesn't. They come in, they click a button, and if it works, then they get a kill. And if it doesn't work, they switch out and they come back again and try again later. There's no repercussion to the playstyle. Ursaluna Blood Moon did something similar. Ursaluna Blood Moon would just come in, and he'd just click like fucking Mind Crush and like just kill things. And then like you couldn't send in a Ghost type because his ability made him hit you, even if you were a Ghost type. So he'd just hit you, and then you'd explode, and it'd be like, good job, Ursaluna. But, like, Ursaluna didn't really give a fuck about what was in front of it. It just came in, clicked one attack. Like, it's one of those Pokemon where all of its other options are more decoration than anything else. It's just like, check out, I have 4 moves. I'm only clicking the one, but I got 4 of them, you know, just in case something bad happens. But I got 4 of them. That's kind of how that works. And these Pokemon become obnoxious to play against because they're so effective at what they do that everybody's going to use them. So now team building is now centered around this guy. This guy who comes in has effectively one, like, not even true counter, and that true counter is a Pokemon that is not very good at handling, like, anything else in the meta. So you specifically have a member on your team dedicated to not getting belligerently rammed over by a ludicrous amount of damage formula. People start using female Bascules and surprise people with special attacks that only knew the male stats. I didn't realize their stats were different. But I guess why would you bother doing that? Why would you bother doing that when you can use Last Respects, right? Though I heard that Primeape came back, or Annihilate, sorry, came back, and they nerfed Rage Fist, so it now resets the damage buff on switch out. Still, that move is quite freakishly strong. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why even bother using the female one for special attacks when you have the male one with Last Respects? Last Respects probably ends up ramping to so much fucking damage anyway that it out-damages through Reflect versus, like, Shadow Ball. It lost Gambit as well. Yeah, I saw that. They also neutered Goldango's signature move. They made it 95 accuracy and they made it a 2-stage drop. But there hasn't really been much else. I know Grimmsnarl's back. I don't really follow champions because I don't play competitive Pokemon. But there's a real trickle effect on options. How many new ones are even good? I don't know. Goldango is a good Pokemon in general. Loath as I am to say it. Grimmsnarl lost one of his signature moves. Which one? False Surrender. I don't remember that move. He's banned in Champion OU. Why? They hate him or he was gold. I hate him because he looks like a cheese string. Oops. Finishing my water before it goes warm. Mega Staraptor, yeah. Mega Staraptor is contrary. I heard that Mega Electros gained a new ability called Elevate, which is just levitate, but it has a beast boost effect to it. Like, okay. Sure. Why? Why not? Why? Meanwhile, Victory Bell gets innards out. That's right. He's speed! Good. Scolopy got shell armor? What? Bro, they gave Mega Scoville and touch me and get burned asshole. Why the fuck did Scolopy can't crit me? He has speed boost for Christ's sake. Why does he have can't crit me? Elevate. Elevate, dude. Phalanx has, I don't remember what Phalanx's ability is, actually. Was it Defiant? I don't remember. Whatever it was, I don't think it was any different from his main ability. Some Megas, they like... its speed drops when it goes Mega. I wish they'd stop doing that. Mega Malamar still is contrary. Yeah, I didn't know that. Mega Malamar seems like a piece of shit. And not like in the sense of like, oh my god, Mega Malamar, God, I hate this motherfucker. But more like you throw Mega Malamar out and it's like, dude, why are you using that? That thing is like... That thing is not good. I know you can use, you can parting shot your own Mega Staraptor to give it a stat boost. It's funny because, like, I feel like Mega Staraptor would be more in line if it had an ability like No Guard. But at the same time, it doesn't learn any moves to take advantage of that. Its hidden ability is Reckless, and Brave Bird and Double Edge do a lot of damage with that ability. Contrary is cool. In theory, but honestly, I think Contrary in practice is a very boring ability. Because it just means that, like... Oops. Like, it clicks Close Combat and gets a defense boost. Like, that's what it does. It was already clicking Close Combat anyway, but, like... It's just... Contrary is not that... It's not that interesting. It's a very restrictive ability in terms of, like... set building. Sounds like a fun game. Sounds like a fun game. Use a Mega Floette. A Mega Floop. It clicks Calm Mind, and then it clicks Dazzling Gleam with its ridiculous special attack stat and fairy typing. Is Mega Pyro any good? I think Mega Pyro looks stupid. If you look stupid, I don't care how good you are. You look stupid. Crazy how some Megas got new abilities and others just got told to go fuck themselves. Oh wow, it's only the second Cassin. I've even seen 2 Marissas at this point. This must be a very rare encounter. Bro, we're not gonna see a shiny hair. Chat, she normally has red wings, right? I'm not crazy. I mean, the shiny would be significantly different looking than that, but like, genuinely there I was like, wait, does she always have red wings? I don't even fucking remember. I've never seen a Charizard X. I've seen most people use Charizard Y because not only is it a good Pokemon, it immediately benefits from its own weather setting, and then weather setting in general is really strong. And when your weather setter is a Mega and not like a Torkoal, it's pretty good. There's no Mega with Drizzle. Thank God. Hello? Where'd they all go? they all left. Mega Pyro ran with Heartgold with Helping Hand and let it have a fire attack 5 times stronger. Oh. Multipliers. Sun boosted, Helping Hand boosted, Mega boosted, Stab boosted. Why did Mega Drampa get Drizzle? I don't know what Mega Drampa has. Do you think it deserves Drizzle? Do you think Mega Drampa deserves anything? It's lucky it even exists. Why the fuck is Mega Drampa a thing? Old man? You're about to get heat waved and earthquaked, baby. The wide guard distribution, I'm pretty sure, is still pretty small. Usually you're gonna get follow mead. As more Pokemon get added, some are gonna get obsoleted. There's creativity in a Baron meta for sure. But like once the obviously tried and true options come out, they're gonna overtake the nicher options. Like Grimmsnarl is, I'm pretty sure Grimmsnarl is the definitive prankster user for like screen setting. And now that he's in the game, like he pretty much does everything that you want out of that role better than the others. So you'd never use anybody else again. You never use a regular Sableye again. Chimara. Chabooby. I don't like Archelodon. He's a silly Pokemon. He's a silly Pokemon. He is, yes. Yes, he is. But is competitive fun? But is it fun? Do you have fun when you queue up for ranked and you fight the same 5 teams in a row? Do you have fun with that? Look at that. It's a rain team with Archelodon lead. Look at that. It's a rain team with Archelodon lead. Are you enjoying yourself? Just build your team around Archelodon lead, streamer. Yeah, but like I don't want to play anti-Archelodon. I want to play a cool team that uses Simisear. All right, Simisear is the linchpin of my team, boys. Without him, I do not want to build a team. Well, you're never gonna win then. Is that really Simisear's fault that he can't win in a hostile environment that favors rain teams? Said no one ever. What are you talking about, man? Everybody loves Simisear. Don't you love Simisear? What about Simisage? What about Simipour? Don't you love the elemental monkeys of Gen 5? Don't you love how often they're talked about in Gen 5? Don't you love how often they are pushed onto the player in Gen 5? But the plant or the fire one? You can't figure out which one's the fire one and the plant one from the words sage and seer. How about pour? You know what that one is? How about that one? Panpour, Panseer, Pansage. Pansage. Aren't they all 5% encounters in like one route? I think you mean the Dream Yard. But in Black and White, I remember there's an NPC who's like, whoa, type matchups. Whoa, look at your starter. It's a water type. Well, guess what? The gym leader's going to use a grass type. But here I have a fire type monkey. Here's a monkey and it's fire type to cover your bad matchups. And you go fight Chili, Crest, or Silent. And they're like, haha, we are 3 gym leaders and we will pick your starter's weakness. And check out my monkey. Oh, blessed, you have another monkey that's better than my monkey. Oh, you type matchup expert, you. And then you get to Castelia, and this dude's like, hey, I have these 3 evolutionary stones, leaf, water, and fire, and they can evolve Pokemon such as Monkey, Monkey, or Monkey. Oh my gosh, trainer, you have Monkey. Would you like one of the evolution stones? Here, pick one, and you can evolve such legendary Pokemon like Monkey. Like, that's what it is. That's what Black and White does. Black and White just talks about the fucking type triangle with grass, water, and fire so much, and every time they talk about it, ooh, they talk about those fucking monkeys, dude. The monkeys are always involved. It's like they really, really wanted you to take this companion to cover your starter's bad matchups. And they're really desperate for like the first 4 fucking gyms for you to have a goddamn monkey on your fucking team to cover those bad matchups. The monkeys suck. Not only are they bad Pokemon, but like they're ugly as shit. Simisear might be the ugliest Pokemon ever created in the history of Pokemon, and that's impressive because Pokemon has been around for a very long time, and yet Simisear is there, and he's just there. They're all bad. They all suck. They're not meant to be good. They're meant to complement your bad matchup. They wouldn't even be that bad if it wasn't for the fact that they are shoved down your throat so hard. They might not even be shoved down your throat as hard as I remember, but I remember it enough to get pissed about it, because when they first gave me the monkey, I was like, no thanks. Like, as soon as I saw the monkey, I was like, no thanks, I don't want to use that. Like, I really don't want to use that. I do not like its design. I'm not using it. And then they kept fucking talking about it like the monkey was still on my fucking team. It's like, please. He's gone. I got rid of him. I don't want this monkey. He's ugly. Why has he got poop on his head? He's got poop head. How many people in the game have monkeys on their team? I don't know, actually. Probably a decent amount of them. You can fight the game director in Castelia, and he's got the 3 monkeys evolved. I think he's also got a Snorlax, because he likes Snorlax. I don't remember, though. But he does have Simisage, Simipour, and Simisear. Stupid, isn't it? Stupid, isn't it? Badass fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. There are some Pokemon that are disliked more than others, of course. But I honestly think that those monkeys are some of them among some of the most hated, simply because of how often the game like tries to nudge you towards using one as well. That, like, you can be mad about Garbodor and Trubbish if you want, but at least there's no NPC in the game who's like, yo, check this shit out. Look at this cool-ass fucking poison type. He's like a garbage, but he's so awesome. He's good against grass types. And the gym leader is, like, really bad against poison types, so you should definitely get one. It'll complement your team so well. Like, they don't do that. Trubbish is a Pokemon you run into and you go, ew. And then you run away, and then you don't think about it anymore until it shows up again later. Or you look at it and you're like, what the fuck is that? I want it. And that's how you do that. Like, a lot of Pokemon are just allowed to exist, and then you're allowed to decide as the trainer if you want it. If a Pokemon is shoved into your face and you're told, like, hey, you should, like, use this Pokemon because it's good for your team composition, fuck you. You want to know what's good for my team composition? Cool Pokemon. Give me a Gibble. That's good for my team comp, because that motherfucker gonna be a Garchomp. He's gonna be the team comp by the end of the game. Alright? He doesn't play by anybody's rules. He makes his own goddamn rules. Someday, I'm gonna find the sparkly girl. I'm gonna find the sparkly girl. Where? I wish my goo sparkled. You know what's funny? If Yuki had been Flandre, we probably would be in there right now. I don't think I would have been allowed to hunt elsewhere if that was the case. Pokemon. Gotta catch most of them, I guess. You don't really have to catch all of them, right? You know, I gotta catch all of them. That's a lot. That's a lot you gotta catch, right? I'm gonna catch all of them. Did Digimon have a tagline like that? Did Yu-Gi-Oh have a tagline like that? Wasn't Digimon's tagline just digital monsters? Wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh's tagline just trading card game? I don't know. I assume it is. Trading card game. I summon the Celtic Guardian in defense mode. You can't do that. What? I summon Big Shield Gardna in defense mode. That card is not actually possible to play like that, you know. Big Shield Gardna. 2600 Defensor. You can't just summon cards in defense mode. The reason they could do it in the anime was because it made more sense to be able to see the monster as opposed to just everything being a set monster, because that's lame. It's not like set monsters don't exist in the anime. They only really exist when they like, you know, there's secret effects to them that they don't want to spill. Otherwise, things that get summoned in defense mode, because I don't know. I like them 5Ds when they were summoned in defense mode. They just turned blue. Like they just fucking turned blue. You can special summon in defense mode. Yes. I'm not sure why you'd really want to, but you can. You can do that if you want. I can't think of a reason why. Are you really safe in defense mode versus attack mode anyway? Oh. I'm ready to like lean out back in my chair. I'm ready to lean back in my chair and like just, you know? I'm ready, dude. I'm ready. Ba-dum-bum. I kind of hope it's Shimada. If I had to pick one on this floor that's like possibly reasonable, because remember, Sara was a 10% encounter. Shimada would be cool. I'd take Shimada or Sengyoku. On the top floor, I'd love to get the Sariel, but that's not happening. But otherwise, the Racing would be cool. I'd even take the Parsi. I just, you know, I don't want Tokiko and I don't want Misamaru, and it seems to me they're the most common, so they are the most likely. Morphtronic Monster have different effects in defend mode, making them a lot harder to use IRL compared to the anime. Oh. So if they're hard to use, that equals not worth using, right? You don't get Mirror Force if you're in defense mode. That's true. That's true. I don't know if Mirror Force is even relevant. Battle Traps? I don't know if trap cards are even a relevant trap card type anymore in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It was cloudy and gray, and now the sun's come out at 7 o'clock. It'll go down soon, but I'm already like prepared for nighttime, so I don't want to open my window. I've never seen a Tenpai deck, but I am aware that Tenpai is a deck that is designed... It's designed in a way to, like, build the board to such a degree that your opponent can't really play the game anymore. They're relevant as one is searchable negate for going first if your deck is actually centered around traps. Okay, so there's decks that center around trap cards. But trap cards themselves usually... But isn't it fair to say that for any trap card that has a good effect, it would be monumentally better if it was not a trap card. Because trap cards can't really be played on your turn. You have to wait a turn. You have to stop playing your game for a little bit to use them. Whereas every other card you can use on your turn. Have you ever seen like real Yu-Gi-Oh be played before? Real Yu-Gi-Oh is so funny to me because I watched somebody like they put some cards down on the field and then they took all those cards in their hand and then they went to their extra deck and they pulled out an extra deck monster and they put it on the field. And then they went back to their deck and then they found another card and they put that card on the field. And then they took that monster and they put it away and then they went to their extra deck again and then they took another monster. And you're just watching somebody do the world's worst magic trick with their cards. And it's just like, what is going on? And suddenly the board has like 3 monsters on it that are of varying colors. And then turn 1 ends. And it's like, what just happened? I don't understand what just happened. Quick spells are generally just better, though it have a grave effect and beneficial for it to be a trap since you can use those at any point. Can you not use a quick effect spell in the graveyard if it has an effect that says you can use this effect? Andrew told me there was this card that had an effect where in its description it said like you can target certain cards for its effect, and in the card's description it straight up says if the card says that it's not affected by like targeting, then just ignore that and do it anyway. I don't remember what the deal with that one was. But it said in the card ruling, like, you can do this, and if the card you're targeting says, no you can't, yes you can. What the hell? That's some real boss monster bullshit is what that is. Activate the boots. At what point are we statistically at 50%? I don't know. I don't know. There's some cards that special summon ignoring summoning conditions. I don't know what that means. But it's like an alternate summoning, right? One of my favorite fuck-ups they ever did was they had a search card for a Legendary Ocean, except the Legendary Ocean, when the Legendary Ocean is in your deck, it is treated in all ways as the card Umi. So you could not actually search the Legendary Ocean card because the Legendary Ocean card did not, by its own card text, exist in the deck. So they had to do a reprint that specified like, yeah, this is okay to do this. You can do it, it's fine. Ancient Gear Golem says it can't be special summoned, but there are cards to special summon it anyway. Oh. Well, that's probably more to do with the fact that when they made the card, they didn't want that to be a thing. And instead of reprinting the entire card to change, like, game-defining text, they just made it so later cards that get around that text specify it gets around it. Around 555. Counter is statistically 50%. We're currently at 518. 518 little guys. So we're almost at 50% coin flip odds. Wow. Isn't that exciting? One of the new Dark Deck special summons ritual monsters from your hand, ignoring ritual summoning. See, the thing about that is that's how you have to do that. because otherwise you have to reinvent the entire ritual summon gimmick in a way that actually like manually changes the cards instead of just providing new cards to get around them. It seems like it's better to create new cards to add on top than it is to take existing cards and completely rewrite how they work, because you can't stop cards that are already in circulation with the wrong rulings on them, right? Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress. Yep. That's him. The Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress. What fortress? Doesn't matter. He's a winged dragon. Isn't that awesome? Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Whoa. My ass is not counting. Fallen of Albaz. A retrain that is always considered him, and if they were to limit him, you could only use either the retrain or the original, which would hit the deck pretty hard since they kind of need both. Well, maybe they should stop treating him like that card. You know, speaking of the Pegasus duel, isn't it really funny how when Yugi summoned the Magician of Black Chaos, like, Pegasus was like, oh no, not that card. Like, bro, you made that card. Why'd you make that fucking card? If it's so strong it beats you, the creator, who made a deck that, like, comprised of cards that are so strong they don't circulate on the market. Why the fuck did you make a card like that made you go, no! Not him! Not the Magician of Black Chaos! He's so powerful. Why isn't he in your deck? Huh? Relinquish is a little special because the Relinquish is a cheater card. And it's less Relinquished and more Thousand Eyes Restrict because he's a fusion monster. He's a fusion monster that can be targeted with a lot of, take this shitty fusion monster out of the deck. Shitty is based on star level, though, not actual effect. And Thousand Eyes Restrict is a 1-star monster. Far from a shitty card. Give me your tokens. Give me a 5,000 attack beater. Cards that say they're always treated as another name means counts for the 3-card limit the deck for that name. I have to assume there's a reason for it, but it is kind of strange that they make a card. I assume the reason they do it is so that the card works for other cards that exist to search the other card, but the card they made is basically an upgraded version of that card. So that's why they make it so they make it so the card is new, but they just have it treated like the old card in name, so old cards still work with it. So you don't have to change all the old cards, you just have to make sure the new one specifies. That said, it does create the limited rule in kind of a weird way, because now you're limited on cards that are technically unique, but because they're all treated as the same name, they activate the clause for the card. Bubble Man. Neo Bubble Man. Let's get a Neo Bubble Man. All it requires is a banned card. Metamorphical. You know, I had a physical copy of Neo Bubble Man. I got it in a pack. Could I play it? No. Do you know a single human being on the planet who has the cards capable of playing a elemental hero Neo Bubble Man? I don't. But I had a Neo Bubble Man card. You know, Jaden played it once. I think he played Neo Bubble Man exactly once, and it was when he fought that pirate guy. Doesn't the Neospatian Dolphin have that issue where he's treated as Neospatian Dolphin? But like, you can't run as many as you want because of the conflict of name. They made one that is treated as that one in deck field GY in hand, and they don't apply a limit. The limit for that. Card's name becomes Gunkin Suship Shadi while in the hand, deck, graveyard, or on the field. So that card counts as a different card, but it's not counted as limited if you put it with... I don't understand. I don't understand your words, Magic Man. Oh, whoops. Was that really 15 already? I walked down the ladder by accident. You can 3 of that one and 3 of Gunkin Suship Shari. So you can have 6 copies of Gunkin Sushi Shari. That's the sushi boat card, I assume. You can never. It's all you can eat sushi after all. Chad, how do you feel about limitations on cards or items in general? Do you think they're a good idea? Do you think they're a necessary requirement? What do you think? I think in terms of Pokemon, it's good that your team can't just be 6 of the same fucking Pokemon. In terms of cards, there's definitely some cards you should not be allowed to have more than 1 of. But I don't know about like Pokemon held items. Pokemon held items having to be unique is an interesting one. I mean, they don't run that in competitive Pokemon. Like what do you call it? Like Smogon, they run species clause, but they don't run item clause. That's probably because leftovers is such a good item to, and like boots is also such a good item to throw on things that limiting it to 1 member per team seems stupid. But I actually wonder about that if item clause would make things more interesting, because you'd be forced to run different items. Like Black Sludge used to be something that everybody ran on poison types because it was just optimal. And it wasn't leftovers, so it did get around item clause in that regard. Nowadays, people don't run poison Black Sludge because Terra exists. There's no reason to run Black Sludge, because if you're holding Black Sludge and you Terra out of your poison type, then now you're taking chip damage. So now everybody just runs leftovers. It's funny. I remember watching a clip in early Scarlet and Violet where a Tyranitar terrestrialized and then died to its own sandstorm. And it's like, what are you doing, old Mally? What are you doing, old Mally? But that's what Black Sludge kind of does. Black Sludge is basically leftovers for poison types. Every other Pokemon, it does damage. Oh, good, another fire engine. There's always something going on. Wee woo, wee woo. Deboonie. I want that bunny. Man, when we get this new team member on our team, it's gonna be so awesome. She's gonna be so powerful and so cool, and everyone's gonna like her, and no one's gonna complain that we got the worst possible one out of all like 14. Do 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 do. Do, do, do. What if it's Misamaru? Well, if it's Misamaru, then maybe Misamaru will gain 1 fan. Maybe she'll gain 1 singular fan. Maybe we should have increased the shiny odds by just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Just a smidgen. You know? Just a smidgen, you know, instead of 1 in 799, maybe like only 1 in 700. You know, let's make the odds a little bit. It's too late now. I mean, 799 seemed fine to me. I mean, this is pretty par for the course time-wise. I was expecting to have to put in the hours for this, but that's fine. Like I said, this is kind of a good one for me to do when I need a break from working. And yesterday I did a big art stream, and then I did more after the stream. I kind of fried my brain on that one. I started something earlier today. I'm gonna try and do more of it later. Still a slow process. I'm trying to... I could change the odds without having a re-randomizer break the save. Could ya? Could you increase the odds just a tiny bit? Just a smidgen? How about instead of 1 in 799, we do 1 in 699? Everybody would appreciate that number, right? Right? Everybody would appreciate that number. You could even do 1 in 670. Chat would love that one. That's topical. I could put that in the description. Ha ha ha. It's alright. It's alright. In like 15 minutes, we'll see a shiny. You know, in like 15 minutes, we'll see a shiny. I guarantee it. I really hope it's not that one. You know, Misamaru had a role in a game. I forgot what the game was called. It was the one that released like 3 years ago. It was the Foresight? Is that what it was called? I barely remember. I think it was called Foresight. That game was lackluster. But Misamaru handled your buffs. And Takane was the shop, and Sanyo ran a gambling den. They really put bosses 2, 3, and 4 from 18 into that game. And man, did it do nothing for them. I like to think that, like, one person saw that character appear with, like, voice acting, and they, like, cried a little bit. They were like, no way. I can't believe it. We got some content, boys. And then you look at what, like, the popularity difference, and it has absolutely zero impact on their popularity whatsoever. Not even remotely improves their standing with anybody. But there's like one guy out there who's so fucking pumped that Aqua Style did their character. More than half of the game is just the lame retelling of EOSD to IN. What do you mean more than half of the game? I think you mean the whole fucking game, my guy. What game were you watching? That is the whole game. Reimu hurts her head, and to get her back into fighting shape, they run her through past incidents she did. What are those past incidents? Take a fucking guess. Then you go to the final level, and you fight Kakinat and her new Reimu, and then you beat the game. And there's like barely any bonus dungeons at all. That's the game. Did I have fun with it? I think so. I think so. It's just funny to me because Genso Wander... That game is fucking huge, dude. That game is straight up just unbeatable with how fucking big it is. And then every game they released after that was like a less complicated and less like packed video game. Lotus Labyrinth pissed me off. That game was really annoying because the whole premise of it, where it was like fight with huge groups of dudes, was terrible because the AI was awful and the ability to control the AI was severely limited. And for some fucking reason, Sagume was in the game. And Sagume had a really cool ability where sometimes if you killed her, she would drop the person who killed her's HP to 1. Like, what the fuck was that about? Like, oh, you're just existing, and suddenly Sagume is like, haha, 1 HP. Now you're at risk of just fucking dying. Because you hit Sagume. I don't know why she does that. So yeah, by the end game for that one, it was pretty bad. Also, the game did a little bit of a thing where you picked which route you were doing, and then you played to a certain point, and then you had to play the entire game again from the other person's route. You could still use all like your leveled up shit from the previous character's run, of course, but you still had to play through the other run, which is like, okay. The part I liked the most about that game was when I got Miko Rabbit on my team. Miko Rabbit, the Lunar Wonderland mascot. I loved her. Aren't I cute? Say I'm cute or I'll cut you. I loved Miko Rabbit. No, the 99 floor dungeons in Wander are very samey. That's the problem with those ones. There's a ton of 99 floor dungeons, but they're all the same fucking layout. They have the same enemies, the same item pools. Like, you're just doing the same dungeon over and over and over again. And it got boring fast. Those dungeons took like 5 to 6 hours to do. And then there's like the fucking the moon one amusement park ones, like the fucking Platinum House, where there's 128 floors and every single one of them has a pandemonium. And there's an achievement that it wants you to beat that by going in with nothing. I can't even beat the previous fucking ones because the pandemoniums are so fucking stupid and poorly balanced. If you spawn into one, that's just it. I remember I was doing the gold one. I spawned in a room. Flandre was standing. Flandre was standing 5 tiles away from me. There was a single item on the ground 2 tiles away from me. And then Flandre activated, I'm going to destroy the items in the room and hit everything in the room. And then killed me in 1 hit. And I was like, this game is fun. So no, the post game of that game is kind of miserable. It's kind of miserable, I'll be honest with you. Also, every boss fight in that game is ass. Every single boss fight in that game is absolutely fucking ass and just strongly encourages the player to bring as many items as possible to avoid having to actually think about what you're doing in that boss fight. You gotta bring your revival spell cards, your attack spell cards, your invincibility potions, your power-up you literally just load your item bag full of shit that lets you not have to actually engage with the mechanics of the game. Because if you try to engage with the mechanics of the game, you just lose. Because the boss hits you like 3 times and casts like 5 different status ailments on you. And you just fucking die. And it's like, this is fun. There were so many bosses like that, it was miserable. I remember I got to the end of the Marissa side story, and I just died every time. I could not, like, feasibly defeat the boss. So I had to leave the dungeon and do it all over again, but I brought a bunch of items that just, like, prevent the boss from even hitting me. And that's what you do. That is straight up what you do. I don't know what you're supposed to do otherwise. Like, you just get hit a lot because the boss starts on the other side of the map and they use AoE attacks and they get multiple turns. And sometimes they create mooks that exist as well. And like I said, it's just they're not fun. The bosses are not well thought out, and you don't engage with them. You simply don't engage with the bosses. That game is more of a novelty than anything, I think. I enjoyed the story beats, the cutscenes. I don't really like Mystery Dungeon gameplay very much. I've learned that by playing Mystery Dungeon games that aren't Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it took me like 3 hours of story in Genso Wander to actually get to the first like dungeon of the game. There were so many story beats and tutorial, and Futo stuck in a mud puddle. Futo was great though, I gotta admit. Futo was a fantastic character in that game. She's your first party member, and she is not as good as like any other party member, but she's your first one, so she's pretty great. When you get to the yokai village in the forest, she's like, I don't like this place, we should burn it down. Like, what? Maybe you should relax, sweetheart. Like, we don't need to set fire to the rain. Their abilities kind of sucked. Diose's ability was great. She could just randomly heal you sometimes. She was nice. But she was DLC. The DLC partners were kind of better in general. Tojiko was probably the best because Tojiko was a ghost. She could go through walls. She's a bit of a cheater. Man, oh man. Kokodo. I don't remember Kokodo being very great. Raisin wasn't that fantastic. Diose was just really good because Diose, she had an AoE attack that wasn't particularly strong, but she loved to use it. She would use it so many times, and she would just get so much damage with it. Where other characters, you'd be lucky if they ever fucking did their goddamn Danmaku attack. One of my favorite parts about that game was the insanity portraits. Reimu looked very scary. Chirno put on glasses. Diose turned to a crayon sketch. She went a little bit insane. Dude, the insane stat is actually stupid. Like, there's like 2 things in the game that can actually cast it on you, and one of them's a fucking boss. And if you don't have it equipped, then you just auto-lose, because Insane just makes you attack your party members with a ridiculous attack string. And Insane, when you were playing Lotus Labyrinth, was even stupider, because, well, one guy caught it, and that shit passed like the plague. Everybody got fucking angry, dude. Everybody got angry. They got pissed. They removed the fun portraits in Lotus Labyrinth. I'm telling you, man, Genso Wander is a neat game because there's just so much packed into it, but the game itself is very frustrating, and honestly, it's not worth playing after the story. There's a number of side stories. There's the Bullet Report, which is you play as Aya Momiji, and it's basically a version of their game it's a version of their game in the Genso Wander engine. Because their original game is called Bullet Report. I've played Bullet Report, by the way. It's not in English, but I've played it. I could not beat level 2. I do not know how to play it, and it was freakishly difficult to play. I did not make it very far, and I did not enjoy playing it. Double Focus is the sequel to that. I played that one. That one has good presentation. It has some rather dubious gameplay, though. That's for sure. That one's a little bit... That one's a little bit special, but there's some voice acting in it, and the art is good, so yeah, you take it. But the other ones, you can play the Marissa side story, the Fairy King. You can play the Sakuya side story. There's the Aya one I mentioned, and I think I'm missing another one that I can't remember. I know those 3 existed. I think there was at least one more. Also, like, all these DLCs have their own well. And if you don't know what the well is it's the, like, 99 floor dungeon. You go into it's the game's, like, Purity Forest. You go into the fucking well at level 1 with no equipment, and you can't identify any items either. You learn what things do by using them. Using items that identify them. Or, like, manually naming them yourself, which you kind of have to do for the talismans. There's a character, though, Hatate, who her ability just identifies things, and she's very handy to run into. The issue with those games is when you get to the higher floors, the big enemies are just stupid. Tenchi randomly causes an earthquake in the ground, and it does damage to the room. But when Tenchi turns big... Whenever she does that, it does damage to the entire floor. No matter where you are, if you are on the ground, you will just take damage from Tenchi's attack. And she just does it. There's no rhyme or reason. She just does it. So sometimes you just get hit. Flandre, like I said, if you are in a room with an item or material, which is a type of item that is more commonly dispersed out in the open, she will activate her special ability, which hits the entire room and turns all items into scrap. And she does so much damage. And Big Flandre is basically a guaranteed kill. Big Flandre basically kills you instantly if you're in a room with an item with her. And sometimes when you go into the next floor, you spawn in a room with a Flandre and there's items. And you have no means of stopping her from doing her attack. And so you just die. And that's how that game works. Like, the big enemies are very, very silly. They're just silly. They're just plain silly. But, like, a lot of the enemies, the big ones, are like that. They're very exaggerated forms. Not to mention they're freakishly strong, so, you know, there's that part as well. It sounds really stupid, but yes, Tenchi will just attack the ground and hit you wherever you are. And then you just take like 30 to 40 damage. And if she just decides, or if there's multiple Tenchi on the floor, if she just decides to start attacking frequently, you just like die. You just bleed out. You just bleed out, dude. Touhou games always have a bit of a... They always have a bit of a dealio going on with them, where they kind of like, they need to be difficult. They feel like they need to be really difficult in places where they don't need to be difficult, and it just kind of alienates people who play the games. And I just find it funny that they're like, oh, it's Touhou, so it has to be difficult. Like, we're talking about a series that its main game is considered too difficult for over half of the fan base to actually get into. So when you talk about like, oh, it's a Touhou fan game, so it has to be difficult. Motherfucker, Touhou fans don't even play the actual games. So like, you don't need to borrow the it should be hard mindset. You motherfuckers don't play the source material because it's too hard. Why would they want to play your fan game that you're making equally as hard, if not harder? Perhaps sometimes it's just a matter of wanting to make a tough game. Some people should have beta testers. If you ever want an example of why games should have like some form of testing, Sap Sipper Swampert. That is easily the best example I can think of a dev who is trying to make something difficult for the sake of it being difficult, but in kind of like a tantrum throwing way. Like, oh, I built this guy's team with a Swampert. Oh, I have a grass type, so I'll kill that Swampert instantly, and then they won't be able to use this biggest part of their team. No! I built this team around that Swampert, so he's gonna use that Swampert, so I'm giving that Swampert Sap Sipper, so you can't kill it with a grass move. You have to engage with my difficulty, alright? I'm breaking the rules, so you have to engage with what I decided is difficult. That level of balancing is like temper tantrum. I made it hard, and I deliberately changed how the game like works, because I want to make sure you experience how hard it is. And I'm guaranteeing that it's going to be annoying, because I want it to be annoying. That's annoying. Don't do that. People can find different parts difficult, but when you intentionally go out of your way to make a part difficult by just overwriting the solution, that's stupid. That's stupid. Don't overwrite the fucking solution to the problem to make your problem harder. That's Keifu. Is it though? Is it? Is Keifu about making your problem harder by hindering your solution? I was under the impression that Keifu was just dumb. Keifu didn't like restrict your ability to play. It just told you that you had to play you had to play too much. Hmm. Here's a map with like 5 different bosses you have to fight. Oh, and the bosses don't start until you get through like the save the save 5 quest. Hmm. They released another fucking game? Really? It's FE12 but Touhoumon, complete with the self-insert player character. Is it good? Chat, should we play a Keifu game? Should we play another Keifu game? We played Hajimari no Miko. Should we play another one? Well, I mean, I'm really thinking about bringing Fantasy Maiden Wars back soon. Not in the summer, but like soon, because I want to play the Miko and Makoto route. Streamer, one map on the Cherno one took me 100 plus turns. Is that indicative of the game design or your ability to play the game? Let's clear that first, because when I'm streaming it, it's always going to be indicative of my gameplay. So I need to figure out ahead of time if this is like I'm walking into a trap. All right? Am I walking into a trap playing this game? Chen is just straight up Marth. Why is Chen Marth? What is the correlation? What? I didn't get past more than 1 turn at a time without fighting enemies. Did it have infinite reinforcements? Did it have 1,000 enemies on the... How the fuck did you play 100 turns? Are you counting a turn as one full cycle of fate, player and enemy phase, or are you counting each phase as a turn? That is a very important distinction. The turn count was 100 plus. So why was it that... Why did it take that long? Why didn't you just beat the map, idiot? Why didn't you just beat the fucking map? Why were you playing that long? Things keep happening. Quick, you have to protect these 5 villagers as they run to the gate. Oh no, it's Chirno and Dayose. You must defeat them. Alright, I defeated Chirno. Oh no, Chirno came back because she's a fairy. Okay, I defeated her again. Oh no, Chirno came back because she is a fairy. Okay, I defeated her. Oh no, Chirno has come back because she is a fairy. Okay. You have defeated Chirno. Oh look, it's Yuka. Hi Yuka. And then you have to go beat up Yuka. And then you beat Yuka. And she's like, pair-ups, huh? And then she respawns. And then she's now partnered with herself. So you have to fight a tag team of Yuka. That is all one map I just said. That was all one map that I just said. You do all that in one map. What a game. Is there a playthrough of it? Can we just watch somebody play it and just like I can provide a commentary on why the game is like terrible? Like I don't actually want to play the game myself, but I'm so fucking curious about how bad it is. How do they keep releasing these games? Who's buying them? I like the part when you get to the moon and the vast majority of your units you've had the entire game are incapable of doing anything to moon rabbits. I really like that part. That was my favorite fucking part of the game. I love how many units I got that were designed to be squishy because they had gimmicks that let them come back to life, but they couldn't fucking do anything but die. That's all they could do was die. They're useless. What good is a fucking unit that comes back if the only thing they can do is die? Yoshika did it. Boko did it. At least Alice had the decency to have stack growths. But so many characters in that game are given to you at a low level, and then you're just told, level them up. leveled them up, bruh. Now, Kyoko and Kogasa, their level ups were actually pretty good. They were all above average for all of them. I don't remember if one fell off, though. They're basically like, you have to figure out if they got enough stat boosts in the first couple levels to be able to keep up with the actual, like, units. Because if they don't, then they fall off. Like, I think Kyoko made it, but I don't remember Kogasa making it. What a game. What a fucking game. Go watch it. Go watch Keifu. Go watch Keifu and understand why that game is as great as it is. While you're at it, criticize my Fire Emblem gameplay. Go ahead. Let me know how much better at the game you would be if you were playing in my shoes. I'm dying to know. That 6-year-old VOD is dying to know how good that gameplay is. Harvest Yuka's fine. Harvest Yuka's biggest issue, I think, is that there is well, I mean, the game ends in a year, so like the game is intended to be beaten in a year cycle, and it lets you start at whatever month, like, season you want. That one had limited events and limited conversation with characters, which is very unfortunate, because I like that aspect of game. And I had this conversation before with about Stardew, how those types of games, I'm really into the world more than the menial labor. So once the world dries up on uniqueness and dialogue, and the characters I stop really like interacting with as characters, and now I'm just playing like menial labor simulator on my own, it's different. It's not as fun anymore. The game's more fun for me around the beginning, when I'm like getting to know all the characters and doing the events and seeing the dialogues. But when you exhaust the rather limited pool of that in Harvest Yuka, and like I said, to be fair, the game is it can be beaten in a year cycle. But there's characters that only appear in certain seasons. Like Letty only appears in winter, so getting her friendship to Max is kind of hard. But you don't need Max friendship for like anybody. Some characters have events that influence the endings, and you only have to get them to a certain degree. It was a cute game. It wasn't worth $30 if I'm being honest. It was like a $30 game that I bought. It's not a $30 game. Spending $30 on that game was something that I did for you. I hope I made my $30 back. I hope I did. But, like, there is the Minariko one that's been in development for a while now, actually. I played the early access for that almost a year ago now, haven't I? I forget what that one's called. I think it released EA in September. I haven't been following it, but I like the presentation of that one. I hope that one finishes up. And we know that the Aki game that the Mystia devs are working on is now in development, and they're actually like posting progress updates. That one's stopping? Oh, why? Oh. I liked that one. I thought that one had some good promise to it. I liked the direction of it. I thought it was neat. Is it gonna have an end state, or is it just getting dropped? Didn't sell well. Well, is it out of early access? It was in early access. Oh, I see. X didn't succeed, so they're just finishing what they have. Well, that's a shame. I mean, I still want to play it when it's done. I guess that's why they tell you to start small. It's not everything. Well, I'm gonna play it when it's finished. I am gonna play it when it's finished because I was excited to play it, and I will judge it by what is there. But yeah, the Mystia Izakaya devs are working on they're working on one that's in Mystia universe, and it's more Stardew Valley looking, for sure. It's very Stardew Valley looking. Very excited to play that one. We don't have any real information on release dates, I don't think, but like I said, they are uploading like gameplay, so it is actively in the works. I'd say a lot of the assets are kind of already there because there's probably a lot of crossover assets with Mystia. But it's more of a matter of when the translation comes out that I get to play it, right? It might take a couple months for the translation to come out, especially if it's a big game. Showing up characters and show Misty Izakaya. No, I figured that much. I don't mean assets as in like every character is a returning character. I mean like actual like props in the game. Shit that was created for Mystia. They don't have to recreate a bunch of new props. They can reuse props in various ways to make them appear new. So the aesthetic is still the same, and it's still the same props, but it's different presentation. Instead of having to completely remake new stuff. I don't know what the plot is. I imagine it's going to be a pretty low-stakes game. It's probably going to be a pretty low-stakes game, and I imagine they're going to try and bring as many characters who weren't present in Mystia to it. But obviously, Minariko and Shizuha are characters in that game. And it's probably another Marissa. It's like the 3 Marissas, and I think 4 Sariels. I looked away for a second there. The music ends in 10 minutes. Can't wait for Ubami to show up. Why do you think Ubami is going to show up? Do you think anybody wants to see Ubami? I mean, she actually could because she's on Yokai Mountain. But like, does anybody want to see Ubami show up? Me, I do, me. Yeah, I bet you do. She's Yokai Mountain. She's the whole mountain? That's crazy, bro. She's the whole mountain. She currently has at least 1 fan. That's actually debatable. That is legitimately debatable. She might not actually have a single real fan. And all of her votes are like extra pity votes. Or like, wouldn't it be funny votes? I know him. What do you mean you know him? You don't know anybody, little bro. Calm down. What are you talking about? I know him. He knows the one Ubami fan personally. There reaches a point where a character's popularity is just tied to how badly somebody wants to appear as an individual. They cannot, I mean, we call them hipsters, I suppose, but they can't stand the idea of having a favorite character that is popular, so they surround their personality to a character who isn't very popular and become as obnoxious as possible about it. I am the leading authority on Shingyoku lore. Who cares? Who cares, bro? Shingyoku lore begins and ends with 3 words. Alright? Man, woman, ball. That's it. That's your lore. Okay? I'm the leading authority on Jupe streamer. No. Why would I be the leading authority on Jupe? My opinion of Jupe is that I like Jupe. You think I run around and correct people that they have the wrong impression, that they represent the character incorrectly? You think I give a fuck? I don't fucking care. This is not my character. No, my character's in my head. What the hell are you doing up here? Excuse me? That was the first Shingyoku on the top floor. That was strange. I wonder why she's up here. Oops. I missed the ladder. I don't remember finding Sengoku on the top floor. I really don't. I've seen him here. What number are we at right now? Over 900! Where's my shiny? Waiter, where's my shiny Pokemon? Waiter! Waiter, where's my shiny Pokemon? It's a puppet. Character fans, they come in different furs. They come in different forms. They do. I like the ones that don't talk that much. I like those ones. I like this character. They're pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Check it out. I drew a picture of her eating a sandwich. That's pretty cool. Good stuff. I like your words, Magic Man. I like your lack of words, Magic Man. I've been in this tower for 3 hours. That's a lie. I've been in here for 2. Almost 2 hours straight. It's okay, because my odds are going up. With each encounter, the chances increase by 0.01%. We're doing it. We're doing it. Also, if you're seeing character opinions on characters in places like social media, that's kind of your own fault. That's all. That's kind of your own fault. Today I will go on reddit.com. Today I will go on the Touhou subreddit. Oh, that's a good idea. Today I will ask the Touhou subreddit what their opinion is on Touhou EOSD. I will walk out of this exchange a better man, a smarter man, a brighter man, a happier man. Will you though? This game is so good. Alright. Welcome to the internet, where you can get people's unfiltered opinions. You can get people's unfiltered opinions at the drop of a hat. Whether you want them or not, you'll get them. They're yours. A full course buffet of opinions, boys. Today I will ask people who spend 13 hours a day online what they think about my favorite character. Yes. Yes, these opinions are top class. Very good. Now, I say that, but I could use some sunlight. I could go use some sunlight. Take me to the sun. Take me to the sun. Twitter sucks, man. Twitter is full of the worst opinions you'll ever seen. You should go on Blue Sky. What? Why would you want to go to Blue Sky? If your opinion of Twitter is that it's all rancid opinions, where do you think all those rancid opinions went when they left Twitter? What, did you think it was better? There is a higher concentration of that in Blue Sky.
Follow me on Blue Sky.
I think I'm dying on the inside and on the outside. Hold on, I need a detox. Bagooby. Alright. I'm better than you. The statistics are that if you have a higher follower account, then you are a more important person. It's very true. This is like a science to it. That's a science. I'm about to run out of my 5-hour music track. It's over. It ended. Pokemon Chill no copyright 4 years ago. We'll see about that. The song starting at 3-hour 15-minute mark is copyright claim. Noted. Thanks, random YouTube comment. Alright. I reached that point where I saw her band was purple and I was like, is it always purple? Ignoring that nothing else has changed, that I didn't see a sparkle and I was staring directly at it. People go a little bit delirious when it gets this involved. You know what I need to do? I need to take my pants off. Because it's getting really warm in here. And I'm wearing pants. Fucking Jesus, why is it getting warmer? It's getting later. I wore these because it was colder. Oh, that's better, boys. That's better. Alright. Can you get in trouble for that? I'm not on stream. There's not even any proof that I did what I just said. Ha ha ha. At what point do I, like, succeed? When I find the shiny Tokiko? Alright. 1,000. 1,000 poopet. We found 1,000 poopet in this tower. That's a lot of poopet. But hidden somewhere in this tower is the rare sparkly lass. Where's my sparkly lass? Whoa. Maybe I should update my game right now to the better shiny odds. No. No, I can't. I can't. I can't do it. I'm not glurp enough. Go away, Tokiko. Stop appearing. You know how shitty this is gonna feel if it's like Misamaru? Go up the ladder. Misamaru might be the worst outcome. The odds of it being her are probably the highest, though. But if it's her, it's gonna stink. I hope it's not her. That'd be hype, not gonna lie. Yeah, I expected a chat message. Oh, there she is. Okay. We did it. We did it, we did it. Alright. We did it, we did it, we did it. Now we gotta hit her. What do we hit her with? I don't know. Pound. Smoke screen. Alright, okay, alright. Get him, Tay. I've never used a Parsi, ever. She never shows up early enough to get her. We're on the top floor. Nice crit. Why do you have frustration? Click back into the game, streamer. Hey is not missing. She's got red smoke. Sparkly. She's sparkly. Tay, no! Huh. Come on. Excuse me. Why is your catch rate ass? Nonchalantly guards the bridge to the underworld. 28 DT. Okay. Give a nickname? Yes. Her name is Pargu. Pargu! Alright. Quirky and strong-willed. That is not that great. Jealousy. Keeps wild puppets away. That's not that good either. Whew! Well, that took a while. Hey, let's get out of this fucking tower. That ability only activates if she's front of the party. Can escape, yeah. Pew new 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 new. Pew new 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 new. We made it out. We have escaped. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. We'll have to level her up. Your puppet yawned loudly. Are you tired? Alright, chat. Well, we did Sprout Tower. And then we spent about 2.5 hours looking for Paru. Can't do wild encounters while she's in the front. Yes, you can. It just reduces the chance of them, that's all. It doesn't make them non-existent. That ability is, I forget what that ability is called in Pokemon. But there's an item like that. It's the cleanse tag. It just reduces the, I think it's not stench, is it? I thought stench caused flinching. I guess it does both. That must be its outer battle effect. Anyway, chat, we got a new shiny added to the team. So next time we'll take Paru here. We'll probably level her up, and we will have to fight Faulkner, and then we can see what's going on the route below. And I guess we check Union Cave, right? We got Union Cave to check. We also can check the grass outside Union Cave, and we can kind of pick our next spot. It seems like we're gonna pass Route 31 and Route 30, but I think our next hunt. I'm gonna check, chat. The next hunt that we do will be after Faulkner, and we're gonna check the Ruins of Elf Rock Smash Rocks, and we'll check outside Union Cave and inside Union Cave. Now the question I have is about Union Cave is, can I access the second level of Union Cave early on? Because if I can access the second level of Union Cave, I'll probably just do what I did there in the tower. If it varies, the encounter table is varied. I don't remember if there's a way to go to the second layer without Surf. It's been a while is all. But that's it for now. Next time we might also have higher shiny odds. Not by much. Not by much. But we will have some higher shiny odds by a little bit. Just so we can maybe advance the game speed just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.